speed button right now.
Well, did you know that you could use your automotive lift to take the rigging out of an airboat? Well, I didn't. There's a lot of things about airboats I didn't know, and I've spent the last couple of months learning a lot of stuff. Knew a little bit about fiberglass work, didn't know a whole lot about airboats. They set the motor at different angles for different reasons. They have hull jacks in them, and the hull jacks are to help hold the hull straight and true so it runs better, leveler, all that kind of stuff. There'll be a second video coming out on the hull jacks that I built for this boat with the information that I found. I am by no means an expert, but I'm having some fun learning about airboats. I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I let myself get talked into these things, but here I am, fixing an airboat, a fiberglass stump jumper. It's got a few little holes in the back of it. This is why I never get anything done on my projects, because I always take on more projects, I guess. This thing's got a lot of work needs to be done on it. It's got a broken stringer, some cracks in the hull, needs motor mounts reworked a little bit. So we'll see what we can do with it. I'm probably not going to video a whole lot of the actual work because this is going to be long, boring, and there's plenty of fiberglass tutorials out there. But I'm going to fix this boat. Well, I'm at least going to make it so that you don't have to run the bilge pump all the time to keep it on the water. Well, here we are, airboat in a million pieces. Like the engine's over there on the stand and seats and all that. But I've spared you the fun of all the prep work. I took this outside and did the majority of the prep work, and then I pulled the two sleeves out for the drain plugs, and I'm going to have to true those up a little bit, make them pretty and clean so that fiberglass can stick to them. All right, I'm going to say this again. I did the majority of this work outside with a full face respirator. I'm just doing this little patch right here with this mask on. Full face respirator is the way to go. When I start this vacuum cleaner up, you're not going to be able to hear a thing. All I'm going to do is clean up this area right here a little bit so that fiberglass will actually stick to it. All these holes you see right here, that you can see all the way through, all I did was cleaned out the loose fiberglass around that. It's no wonder this boat was taking on water. Alrighty, let's turn on the vacuum. All right, let's take a little look at the air support, dust collection. We got a close-in air support here and our long-range air support. That's an 8-inch duct. I'm thinking maybe I might ought to upgrade that to a 12, but I don't know if I will. It works fine the way it is. The vacuum cleaner hose goes back to a giant Vortex dust collector. I only did this because I had a couple of these barrels. I had all the other stuff except for I think that elbow right there. But she's a big one. And it's hooked to a very large, very noisy vacuum cleaner. I don't use that too often because it is loud. This is the dust collector on the end of the big hose. There's two 20-inch by 20-inch filters sitting like this. It has a cardboard cover on the last piece of it because it was done out of scrap lumber, and I ran out of scraps to do it, so that's there temporarily. Switch on. This is my dust capturing device. It looks pretty good. It does all right. Just got a AC fan out of a house AC. I think that one actually came out of a mobile home. It's a small one. Uses two 20-inch filters. I did all this work outside because this did not keep up with the grinder. This will keep up with a small oscillating saw or a wire wheel and a drill something that moves slow, but when you get a higher speed device, it just throws dust all over the place. So I worked outside with a full face respirator. Also, I'm going to try it with these filters in it when I use it again, because I had filters like this in it. They trapped a lot of the dust. They were double stacked, but we moved it a couple times, and the first time we moved it, we kind of bounced it around a little bit, and we had it pointed towards an open garage door, and my buddy flipped the fan on just to see how it worked, and it blew a huge cloud of dust straight into the shop. So anyway, don't point it at anything you don't want to get covered with dust after you've been bouncing it around. Like I said, it does work. Small equipment, small pieces, so I'll use it from time to time with a little bit of stuff I still have to do. The boat itself, all the major stuff has been done, so there'll just be some little wire wheeling on small spots and stuff like that, and it will keep up with that. I didn't have these when I did my boat, but I did my boat outside in the driveway. I used that little vacuum cleaner right there, and it really plugged up quite quickly. So hopefully this will keep the air flowing and the dust being collected for a lot longer, and it'll keep the quality of the immediate area dust down. All right, we're getting set up to throw some fiberglass at this thing. I'm not going to record a whole lot of this work because it takes time to record, and I'd like to get this job done one day. But this is what it looks like now. And hopefully, when I'm done, there won't be any holes in it. Well, here we are with the stringer repair in place. Got the fancy clamps holding it down while the epoxy cures. We've got enough fiberglass built up in the back, so, well, at least the resin won't keep running out the back of the boat. Eventually we'll add a few more layers to that, get some strength in it. Patchwork and a little bit of gel coat. Back outside for a little more grinding. I have to clean out along this front edge so I can fix some of the cracks on the stringers and put a little more strength in this brace going across. And one more repair. It may or may not have bounced off of a tree, or two, or four. But we can fix this, I think. It always gets worse before it gets better when you're working with fiberglass. And this is what it looks like right now with a little bit of paint on it. We still got a little ways to go to finish up the boat, but the fiberglass work is pretty well done. And this corner over here is going to need a little bit more work done on it before we paint the outside of the hull. It may not be perfect when we're done, but it'll be close enough to perfect. All right, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and as always, thanks for watching.